May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day in PulseChain and crypto and Bitcoin and everything else. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Your host Superman is here. Never fear, up and away. I don't care. Something like that. All right, so here in New Zealand, it is Christmas Eve, guys. It is Christmas Eve. It's the 24th of December. It's not the evening though. 11:30 in the morning, and it's a little rainy, dowdy outside, which is pretty typical for this time of year here in New Zealand. We've had a very good sunny, I don't know, it feels like maybe 6-7 weeks or something, which is pretty unusual, but a typical sort of Christmas Eve weather here. So obviously when you're up in the north, you have a white winter, you have snow, and then you get all those cool movies and songs. But down here we have generally it's summer, right? So we have normally supposed to be sunny, but typically on around Christmas Day, it's pretty consistent. We normally get overcast and a bit of rain stuff. It's crazy. Not always, but a lot of the time. Hey, we got Mark in the house there. Good to see you, Mark. Happy Christmas Eve, even if it's not your time zone. And Sean as well. Sean O'Malley in the house there. Repost the stream. Appreciate that. Big shout out. In fact, it reminds me to get the repost and also to pin the show to the top. So let's do that. All right. Bam. All right, so let me repost this. Share show on X. That is the link right there. And sharing is caring, as they say. Sharing is caring, especially on Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and welcome to the show. Ho. All right, so today the show's called Richard Hart and PulseChain. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, we're going to cover the markets, stocks, Bitcoin and altcoins. And of course commodities and a bit of economic news. It's kind of cool. Now, I did briefly talk about this yesterday. I think that was Trump announcing the new Trump classes of battleships and submarines and aircrafts and all sorts of things like that. So excited to see that. So looking very good there. What's the other thing he's doing? Doing a few other things. I see French President Macron. He's one of the biggest traders in Europe, isn't he? And he is doing up to no good all over the place. So we'll see what happens there. Also, the EU president, who's unelected, also causing trouble. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. In Europe, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to completely go to the dogs, or are they going to? They're going to do something good. Now, of course, we've got the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. He's got to be the biggest dictator in town, isn't he? And of course, a very evil man. And he's now looking to not only is he oppressing the UK people, but now he's looking to go to war with Russia. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. That's sort of some of the things going around the world geopolitically. And Trump's ended 8 wars now, so hopefully we're going to have world peace under Trump to some degree. So excited about that, and that leads us into a good 2026, right? We want a really safe 2026, and as long as the Europeans don't botch up too much, we should be able to get a much more peaceful world for a period of time at least, and have a good Christmas, enjoy our Christmas presents, drive around in those new cars that people were getting. I always like watching those videos where parents give their kids like cars when they turn like 16 or something. That's always hilarious to watch. And the kids come out, oh my God, you're the best parent ever. It's like, we're going down to, where they go down to? We're going down to, is it Subway these days? I don't know. Chipotle? Is it Chipotle? Chipotle? I don't think we have that in New Zealand. Chipotle, is it? I'm probably not even saying it quite right. Man, America's got so many fast food places. Now, we have been getting a few more of them down here in New Zealand. I've seen a few videos on them, but haven't actually gone to them yet. I think we've got after many years, like we're talking about decades. We got something. What's it called at the border? Something at the border. What is it? Taco Bell at the border. That's it. We got Taco Bell at the border. I've not been to it though. So yeah, we're getting a few things. Might take 20 years, but they finally get here because they're all under franchises, right? And so it takes the time for the franchise to go to other countries and set up and stuff. So I guess it's some of the things that hassling up. Anyway, let's get into the markets and see how the stock market went overnight. And yeah, if you can repost the show, get out there and have a bit of fun. Christmas Eve today, guys. Christmas Eve in New Zealand. We'll probably do a Christmas Eve show tomorrow. Probably do a Christmas Eve show tomorrow for the Americans and the North, people up in the North, the deep North. All right, so let's get into the stock market. We had another good day, so that's good news. The stock market's had a nice week this week so far. Funny how the stock market got a Christmas rally, and we were looking for that big Christmas rally, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, we got S&P 500 rides NVIDIA. Obviously, the AI theme there, economic optimism to record close. So good news there. But the crypto market, of course, maybe a day late. Maybe it's just going to move a day late. We'll see. We got the Dow Jones at the moment. It went up 0.16%, 80 points for 48,442. What are we up? We've got about a week to go before the end of the year, right? A week to go. S&P 500 is up 0.45%, 31 points to 6,909. And we've got the Nasdaq there at up 0.57%, 133 points to 23,561. So nice little green there. Let's have a look at for the week and see how that turned out. Yeah, it's a nice up week for the Nasdaq. S&P 500 kind of flat actually from the beginning of the week, and the Dow Jones is up as well. So Nasdaq and Dow Jones both up for the week. US dollar has been depreciating a little bit, and we can see that over the week. It's down at 97.59 now. Remember, Trump came in, it was about 108, so it's down over 10 points, just over 10 points. Let's go to commodities, and West Texas at the moment, up 0.8%, 46 cents to $58.47. Brent oil at $62.47 is down slightly, and so that's down dramatically since Trump came in, right? So that's over $20, so about $20 down at least on the oil, which has been a big win there, despite the US dollar depreciation there, and of course massive increases in manufacturing supply in the United States. We've got gold at the moment, which has been the real big story. Of course, the BRIC nations have been buying a lot of gold, haven't they? And that's up 1%, $45.50 at 4,514. In fact, that's probably a new all-time high, pretty much, is it? On the old gold. Let's get the chart. Yeah, pretty much a new all-time high. Let's go to the last month. Yeah, it's pretty much at all-time highs now, 4,514. Pretty amazing. And of course, that is up 1%. Now, silver also doing incredible. And silver has crossed over the $70 mark, guys. We talked about this ages ago. Remember that? Said the target for silver was $75 to $125. It is almost at that low end of that target, $75, which means that if you've got silver or gold even in countries with weaker exchange rates like Australia and New Zealand versus the US dollar, that's going up even greater. Like if every dollar it goes up, you're getting another 76 cents, I think, in New Zealand. So pretty dramatic. So that's up 4.4%, $3 today to $71.60. So broke the $70 mark for silver. Wow. We're expecting that to continue into next year, given the golden age of America starting to kick in. So that is kind of cool. We also had, looks like GDP came in for the third quarter of this year, rose to 4.3% annually in the third quarter after growing 3.8% in the prior 3 months, and easily above the 3.3% consensus. So that was pretty cool. Equities sold off on the solid GDP print and jump in consumer spending as bets on rate cuts for 2026 are barred as touch. I still think we might end up getting at least 2 rate cuts next year with the change of the guard. So maybe even 3. I think if inflation continues to go down towards 2%, if that is consistent, then we could even get maybe even 4. I mean, things can change over that period of time, especially with a new chair, right? New chair. While the data is very lagged, the resilience of American buyers poses an upside risk to the dovish expectations in the next year. That stocks are baked in. Well, yeah, we're gonna the US consumer is going to be quite wealthy next year. Remember, Trump's done a lot of things to do that. I mean, you're talking about the veterans checks, $1,776 for 1.45 million vets, or not vets, I should say, military service people. And so that's huge. You're going to have all those tax benefits around no tax on tips, etc. And then, of course, you're going to have potentially a tariff check as well that manifests. I mean, there's a lot of bonuses there. And the other thing is that will work if you have a supply expansion, which is what Trump's doing, right? A supply expansion. This is not what the Democrats did, right? The Democrats would often do supply contractions. And so you get this high inflation, right? They spend all this money, you borrow it, spend it, and then no supply. So you have all the prices go up. We get this high inflation. Well, Trump's doing increasing the spending power of the U.S. consumer and also expanding the supply dramatically, right? So $21 trillion raised so far, and just in this year, which is amazing, which is 21 times more than Biden did in all of 4 years. So it's pretty huge, right? This is massive, and it's all going to start playing out next year. Well, at the same time, we've got this fiscal policy going and economic policies. We've also got monetary policy moving from QT to QE, right? So expansion of the money supply. We've already seen some of that money printing take place already, and that's expected to ramp up. And I think that will probably particularly ramp up by the beginning of Q2 next year, calendar year. So we're talking about April or so. And so, yeah, we're expecting a lot of money sloshing in, as well as interest rates continue to decrease. So we're going to have all that, lots more money, lots more spending, a lot more income, and of course, big supply expansion, and of course, big GDP. So that means bigger tax take as well. So it's pretty awesome. Everything looking pretty amazing. We've got Rolf and House S&P 500 at record close. So much for a crash in 2025. All those doom and gloom lovers are wrong. Let's looking forward to 26, 27. Yeah. Hey, look, under the golden age of America, we've only got to be optimistic about the absolute utter boom of the United States. It's going to be absolutely incredible, guys. Merry Christmas, LFG. PulseChain says Unity. Hey, good to see Unity in the house. Big shout out. Unity, of course, in the monster thread yesterday with the cryptographics, and I saw Somi do his weekly video on the monster thread. Did a great job of that, so big shout out to him. We got good stuff happening, guys. So U.S. economy, the U.S. economy expanded at a stronger than expected pace in the third quarter. According to the government reports, gross domestic product rose at a seasonally adjusted 4.3% in July-September period. Commerce Department said accelerating from 3.8% growth. Now, we've been talking about potential to move to 4, 5%, and maybe even 6% GDP growth in the golden age of America. That might be the top of the move, but it's going to be pretty incredible, guys. And yeah, it's great. It's going to great news. And hey, look, even though it's primarily United States, all that money is going to flow out into more demand for other countries' products. So there will be a downstream effect for trade in that regard. So pretty cool. All right, so kind of cool. Now, we just had a trade agreement here in New Zealand, funny enough, signed by our government. I've been on X. You probably see me on X commenting about it. It's a pretty horrific deal. But look, we don't have the luck of having Trump running the country with common sense. We have all these Marxists and globalists destroying our countries. It's horrific, and there's nothing we can do about it in our countries, unfortunately. Our best bet is any secondary impact from Trump's foreign policy, but we've got a whole ton of lunatics running our country, and there's not much hope for us. It's a bit sad on Christmas Eve, I know, but we're still going to get presents under the tree, right? All right, so that's kind of the play there at the moment. We got the report represents the first official estimate of third quarter economic growth, even as the fourth quarter is already nearing its end. Like other federal agencies, the Commerce Department has been working through a backlog of data following the government shutdown, which pushed the GDP release back by nearly 2 months. So that's kind of the play there. Now we got the Fed. We talked about the Feds, right? Ali Jaffrey from the CIBC Economics thinks the report won't move the needle for the US Federal Reserve. Besides being a bit dated, the Fed prioritizes the job market activity data as a leading indicator of where the economy is heading. The labor market has moved further in the wrong direction in the fourth quarter, albeit with more limited data. Jaffrey reiterated his call for 2 more rate cuts next year in the first half of the year. And that's great for us in crypto, guys. That is great for us in crypto. So I'm pretty optimistic about that, especially with the change of the guard with the federal chair. And I think Jerome's supposed to step down. I think it's May next year. I think it's May. That's kind of the plan. Softer CPI reading prompted traders to bring forward bets on interest rate cuts, with the markets now pricing a greater chance of swifter easing by the Federal Reserve in 2026. Investors were also watching developments around the Fed's leadership transition for the fresh clues on the policy outlook. With current Fed Chair Jerome Powell's term set to end in May, so there we go. President Donald Trump conducting interviews with several finalists. Markets are trying to gauge the policy outlook. Now, I think we're going to hear about that by the end of the year. Who's going to nominate? And that typically in the past has taken about 3 months to process. All I'd say also is we have already seen the end of the year. We got the banking closes. That the close of the banking, there's not enough money around, so that's why we've seen a lot of money printing as well. It's bodes well for a big ramp up in money. So I think we're getting the perfect storm, guys. 26, 27. Now, obviously, we had a bit of a delay this year because we had that liquidation event on the 10th of October. That has definitely unkilted the markets for about 8 weeks or so. Although we are seeing a recovery into Christmas on the stock market. Let's see where we are with the crypto market, which is still a bit lagged. All right, let's get into some comments before we get into the crypto side. So that's the economic side, guys. Let me just, I didn't actually look at the federal rate monitor, but I'll just quickly look at that. We've got 4 weeks and 5 days and 20 hours to go. We've got a 17% chance, apparently, on a 25 basis point cut at the moment. So that's actually shrunk at the moment. So we'll see where that turns up in the new year. Let's see whose comments in the chat here. Al Will says, so glad to see Somi back from his burnout break, says Al Will. Did he have a burnout break? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good that he had a break. It's always good to have a break. Unity.1 says St. Richard Hart, a nice one there. See what he did? Yeah, SRH, yeah. St. Richard Hart was in the Monster Threads. If you haven't checked it out, that's been the Christmas project on PulseChain, doing pretty well. So Kyrus, of course, there from Emmett launched that. A big shout out to Kyrus. I wouldn't fade, says Unity. I wouldn't fade. Like it. We've got Property View in house there. Great economic coverage, says Property View. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. And Unity says, along with PMC Eco, we've got a few other tokens that Unity likes there. Nice. All right. We've got Sean in house. It's Merry Christmas Eve to all, says Sean. Merry Christmas to everybody for sure. Season greetings and Merry Christmas to all, says Valiant. Absolutely. Very cool. All right, so let's get into the crypto markets, and we'll go full screen on this. So we got the total market cap at the moment, 3.05 trillion, and I keep saying it time and time again, but it's a very small market, right? 3 trillion, 0.7% is where we are at the moment. It's down, so we're at a slightly down day. Bitcoin was down quite a lot yesterday overnight during the stock market, but has drifted back up again. So even though it's down, it's not as bad as it was overnight. We got Bitcoin at the moment down 1.1% at $87,538. We got Ethereum down 1% at $2,962. So we broke back below 33,000 again. Certainly testing that 3K mark a lot. Number 4 is BNB down 1.7% at $843. XRP at number 5 is down 1% at $1.88. Solana is number 7. It's down 1.1% at $124. Tron at number 8 is down 0.2 at 28.3 cents. Finally, number 10 is Doge, is down 1.9%, just below 13 cents right now. And of course, Figure Hallock has continued to dominate Cardano after flipping it. So that's been an interesting case there. Obviously, with the weakness of the new privacy chain that Charles Hoskin launched, probably playing into that. Best performer over the last 24 hours. Obviously, it looks like Tron here, only down 0.2%. Best performer over the last week is a tie between Ethereum and Tron. So they're up 0.8% green there at the moment. The only two. Top 100, we got Midnight, which is the privacy chain from Charles Hoskinson. That's up 34%, but down 25% in the last 24 hours. So some definitely heavy profit taking happening there. That's still sitting at number 77 though. Canton, number 45, is second best performer, up 14.6%. Hash there, Provenance blockchain, sitting at number 60 is the third best performer, up 13% in the top 100. Uniswap at number 40 is the fourth best performer at 11.5%. Finally, 74 is Sky, up 9.9%. So there we go. Those are the 5 best performers in the top 100. No, not a bad selection, actually. Top 1,000 gainers, we've got Pippin, SQD, and Impossible CloudNet. Top trending is Bitcoin, Aave, and Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins there. And of course, Tom Lee's favorite, right, is Pudgy Penguins. The guys that launched that, of course, are living the dream in Dubai or somewhere like that, partying every night with their hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. I don't think it's quite worth that. It's come back from its high, but certainly not pretty good there. In fact, let's have a little sneak at Pudgy Penguins, see what the market cap it is. Market cap is, okay, it's come down a lot, right? Because it used to be like 3 billion or something. Let's have a look at the market cap, what it peaked out at. Yeah, 2. Looks like about 2.8 billion or something, 2.7, 2.8 billion. Yeah, it is now currently down at 555 million. So they might have had those rich boys in Dubai might have to cut back a little bit. Might have to cut back a little bit on their high life. All right, so let's jump into the Bitcoin charts. We got 87,341 here on CoinGecko. This is the monthly chart. So we're well above the 50 monthly moving average here. It's at 65,000. We're at 87,340. So long term, we're still in a bullish move. Moving to the, we'll just probably do the weekly chart, shall we? Let's do the weekly chart. Weekly chart there, we've still got that bullish cross playing out and golden cross. And we're below the 50 though, but we're still well above the 60. Sorry, the 200-day moving average in orange, that's 67,300. The 50 is at 98,200. And we're just below that at the moment at 87. Moving to the daily here on the old Bitcoin. We've got that death cross playing out, right? So that hasn't finished, but we're still kind of in this accumulation zone here in 7. So hopefully we hold that floor, not waterfall down, because that'd be a rollover, right? Quite a severe rollover. But if we can defend this line in here, obviously back here, and here, then we game on for that big hyperbolic parrot banana move, which we're expecting into 2026. Now, if you're in Strategy Club, if you haven't joined Strategy Club, highly recommend it. Posted a video in there yesterday from Raoul Poole about his outlook for 2026, and of course, it's very bullish. He says a lot of the things that I say, and he's got a few extras as well. So definitely worth checking out. Now, if you haven't joined a Strategy Club, it's just over $1 a day, really good value. And I'm putting intel in there all the time. So general crypto intel, sometimes some economic news, obviously a lot of intel about PulseChain and X1 chain and things like that. And also you get to ask me a lot of questions. So I have pretty quick at answering all the questions in there. So it's a great place to be. So if you want to join up to Strategy Club, the link's in the video description on YouTube, and also pinned to the top of the one of the top link there on the X profile. So if you go to the scroll at the top there, you'll see the Strategy Club. Join up today. You will be going through the Whoop store to join up. Pretty easy to do, and we'll look forward to seeing you inside the Strategy Club. Strategy Club is a private room, as it were, inside the Discord, and so you get inclusive of that, you get the Discord access as well with all the resources, including the only crypto helpline as well in the PulseChain community. So join up to that. All right, so at the moment, that's where we are right now on the old Bitcoin. Let's jump over to Bitcoin returns. Bitcoin returns there. At the moment, we're currently down 3% for the month of December. We've still got a week to go. So will we end up green? Let's see. I'm feeling reasonable about it. But of course, we are moving into quieter times, right? Quieter times between, let's say, Christmas Eve through to let's say the 7th or the 10th of January, somewhere in there, when people return back from holiday. So it's quite a quiet period during for crypto. And you can hear the crickets outside. Hear the crickets. Or maybe if you're up north in the snow, maybe you can hear the snowman beating down or something. All right, so we got down 3% at the moment. We'll see where we end up in a week's time. Last year we were down about the same amount, 2.85%. The year before that, in 23, we were up 12%. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so that is where we're ranking at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum. We'll probably pull up Ethereum and talk about that later. But let's go to the Bitcoin rainbow. So we've got a couple of charts here. You probably guys have seen the crypto rainbow many times. But at the moment, we're at the bottom. Now, there's different versions of the Bitcoin rainbow chart. And here we are at the moment. We got charts BTS or Bitbo BTC. You can see that the green line here is the halving, right? So the Bitcoin halving. And we are right down the bottom here. Look at that. So after halving, previously we had seen these big run-ups. See that big run-up there? We got into the orange zone. And of course, the previous halving, so that was 2012 halving. 2016 halving, we had the big banana run, right? That's what Rob Paul calls a big banana. And we got all the way to the red zone. And then, of course, we on the third halving here, we got the 2020 halving. We had the big banana run right into 2021. Of course, that's when Hex was one of the only like 4 or 5 coins that did massive returns, like 10,000 X. And then we've come down. Now this rainbow whole idea got tested, didn't it? Got tested a bit back in January 23 when it was being pushed down through the blue line here. And of course, it was like, does this even apply? This rainbow, does it even apply? And of course, we've seen some modified rainbows, right, to add maybe more bands, more bands and things like that. But anyway, it's continued to rise up. So far we had the Bitcoin halving of 2024, right, in May 24, and so far we have seen us only just chug along. We've definitely gone up, but only chug along into the orange zone. The green zone, despite having everything lined up, including the United States supporting crypto. Now, a lot of the stuff with crypto for the United States is still yet to play out. Obviously, the direction for crypto has been set up, but we've got obviously we had the Genius Act earlier this year. We also know that the government's going to potentially look at ways of picking up Bitcoin using budget neutral policies. But we also got the Clarity Act coming out, and that's a big deal, and also crypto market structure as well. So that will really define how people can interact with crypto once and for all. And so that's pretty huge. In addition to that, of course, we see the SEC strategy with tokenization, and they're pretty bullish about a lot of the traditional markets, including the stock market, Wall Street, etc., tokenizing a lot of the stocks and things like that and financial products like bond markets and things like that over on the blockchain, right? So it's pretty huge, as well as general information as well, using blockchain to record that. So it's pretty huge, and they're talking about potentially within 2 years. I mean, that's a massive ramp up, and so that you'll be seeing some huge exponential kind of curve play out. It'd be pretty insane. So that's all in front of us, guys, and it's in front of us, but it's in front of us during the same era as the golden age of America. So 26, 27, with this big economic ramp up, right? So honestly, we're just really, I know it's been a little bit demure, but this demure type of chart at the moment might very well be playing into our hands for some just absolute ginormous run up. And so if you look at this chart into 26, 27, that takes us up to the next halving, right, which is May 2028. And so this banana part, we could very well get pretty high in here, if not orange, then red in this chart. And just giving how, flat this has looked compared to previous halvings, right? And yet we have the holy grail of lineups happening in crypto. So I'm expecting some pretty amazing stuff during this period right here. So this last little liquidity play out may have been just perfect for this big giant ramp up, and of course altcoin season as well. So I'd feel pretty optimistic, guys, about where we're heading here. Now, the only thing, of course, that we do fear on a large scale is any China-Taiwan issue, all right? Because that will not just be Taiwan. China, if they do decide to make the foolish move of doing that, is that they would have to take a regional war, right? So they'd have to attack multiple countries all at once, and we already see them ramping a lot of that stuff up in the South China Seas. We're expecting some more activity. over the next few months as they put more pressure on some of the countries like Japan, and possibly I think the Philippines as well. And pressure of Taiwan. They've already put pretty heavy pressure on Taiwan already. So that's really the only wild card. So just take note of that. So putting that to one side, we're looking pretty good, especially with Trump. Ending a lot of these wars with other leaders, of course, helping to make that happen. So that's kind of where we are right now on that. So we're looking good, guys. Looking good. Just remember, come back to this video and see what it looks like over the next 2 years. Now, we do have some challenges next year in the first half. So I don't want to, the big geopolitical risk, obviously. We do have some challenges that will create some volatility potentially for the first half of next year. Obviously, we've got the Supreme Court and the tariff case that should go to Trump. Obviously, that's as an emergency tool. And we've got some other things around, midterms, things like that going on. So there are, I think there's another one or two that I've just forgotten at the moment, but there's at least 3 decent kind of issues that could create volatility in the market. So don't want to, get away from that. And probably the third one is probably around interest rates, right? So just take note of those 3. They also could create volatility. Although I must say the polls are kind of looking pretty good for the midterm. So we'll keep a look at that. There's lots of tricks and skullduggery to be played in politics, and lots of lies, deception, and the rest of it. So it's going to be interesting where all it lands. But Golden Age America may just wipe that all away. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right, so that's kind of where we are with the old chart. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment is at $2,953. We're above the 50-month moving average, which is at $2,536. So we're still $400 or so above that, 420 above that. Let's go to the weekly chart as well. And we got some comments in the chat, so I'm going to read those. Al Will says he said he was burnt out and going to take a break. Yeah, well, he does a lot of his format is a lot of we're talking about Somi here. He does a lot of short video formats, doesn't he? And a lot of X posts. So he's doing a lot of volume. And so he probably definitely needs a rest there. So that was a good idea. Sean O'Malley says Strategy Club is great value. I appreciate that, Sean. Big shout out there. Yeah. Join up today. Links in the video description and pinned to the top of the profile. We might show that later on when we finish the show. All right. So that's kind of where we are. 29.55 is at the moment on the weekly. We're below the 50-week moving average, which is at 3,267. 200-day moving average in orange at 2,600. We're right in the middle there. Now, obviously, Ethereum's not quite had the same kind of, aggressive ramp up as a Bitcoin to some degree. But that means I think there's a lot of more potential in there. And of course, with the strategic ETH reserves accumulating, we saw that Tom Lee has picked up even more Ethereum overnight. So he just crossed the 4 million mark, 4,070,000 Bitcoin. He just bought more overnight. So that's going up, up, and up. And of course, he's trying to get to that 6 million target. And he's really taking a lot of Ethereum off the markets, right? It's taking a lot off the market, so it's pretty cool. All right, so we've already seen something like 4.5 million or so Ethereum taken off the centralized exchanges. So we've gone from about 20.3 million. Remember, there's only 121 million Ethereum, and so he's taken already about along with the other strategic reserves and market participants, already about gone from about 20.3 million down to about 16.2 or somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe I think it's actually lower. I think it's gone to 15.8 or something like that. So it's down a lot lower now. So it's pretty cool. I haven't got that chart up today, so we can't look at it right now, but otherwise I have to go get it. We got the daily chart here. Daily at the moment, we've got the death cross playing out just like Bitcoin. And here we are still in the kind of this next level to get support. We were slightly lower than this before, so we're actually slightly higher. So that's still a good thing. We're right in the middle, kind of in this consolidation layer. And just like Bitcoin, we're hoping that maybe at least by the 10th of January, if we don't get a little bit of a ramp up before the end of the year, that we get that big move, that big parabolic move. That being said, of course, with some extra volatility with some of those factors that I talked about earlier around the Supreme Court and interest rates and the midterms, right? The midterm kind of politicking. All right, so that's kind of the play right now. That is Ethereum. Now, obviously, we're going to look at the the returns at the moment for Ethereum. So Ethereum at the moment looking a bit better than Bitcoin. We're only down just below 1%, so we could quite easily turn that into a green month. And with the stock market performing well, with the AI theme keep going, with the monetary policy supportive, no reason why we've still got a week to go, so we might etch out a green period here for the old Ethereum. So not bad. Last year we were down almost 10%. Year before that up 11%. So not too bad. I'm expecting, some good months potentially in January, February. As you guys know, Tom Lee and Raoul Paul, they're both bulls, what we call bulls, right? They expect the market to go up, and so do I. And for good reason, because we've got kind of the holy grail of everything coming in down the line. And that is they, after the 10th of January, they're expecting the market to pick up in January, February. They put a scenario up, and the scenario is that if Bitcoin can suddenly re-rate and go do some big parabolic move up to the upside, we could, if we take out Bitcoin's all-time high, then, which I think is 126,000, somewhere in that ballpark, that we will break the 4-year cycle, and therefore we'll have a big, long, new economic era, which could probably last for at least another year after that, obviously with some pullbacks up and downs, but pretty exciting where that's going to go. So we'll be testing that scenario in the next month or two. So that is where we are right now for Ethereum. So yeah, we might etch out on both Bitcoin and Ethereum over the next. We've still got a week to go. Let's see what happens there. Probably on lighter volume, right, because of the holiday period. But yeah, it's not looking pretty promising. All right, so kind of cool. Let's jump over to Wookiees in the house. Silver went over $120 New Zealand. I know, it's crazy, right? And it's just started a bit. It's so far $71 across $70, and of course it's so close to the bottom of that range we've been talking about for at least, I don't know how long, 18 months or so, of $75. So it's just about reached the bottom range of the target, and I expect it to continue next year. Now, obviously, there's baked into this. There's a lot of a bullish rally into it. Let's call that a premium. But we also have underlying. We do have a lot of economic demand building for silver with the high tech industry, right? And that's going to even be more going into the golden age of America, when a lot more high tech silver's need for high tech and things. So kind of cool. Yeah, 120. We'll talk about that later. Wookie in the Discord. We'll do that and I'll talk about that in the Discord. All right, so let's get to the PulseChain. PulseChain, man, we're heading towards 1,000 days. Can you believe it, on PulseChain? And of course, where the title of the video is Richard Hart and PulseChain, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So let's do it. Let's do it live. I'm always doing it live. All right, so let's jump in here, and we've got obviously a bit of a demure day here on PulseChain. We have one little up day, and then we have 2 down days. It seems like that, doesn't it? And then maybe a little up day. So not too much happening on the old PulseChain right now. Day 958 is where we are. 958? Was it 956? I can't read it actually. I think is it 656? Maybe it's 956. Yeah, I think it might be 956. Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0164 is down 4%, sitting at 16% of mean sacrifice price. So really, quite weak down here. Obviously, after the Band-Aid got ripped off with the old Prevex sacrifice. We've got PulseX at the moment at quadruple 0127, down 5.5%. And then we've got the buy and burn sitting at 8.31%, so it's back up there. And the INC, 66 cents, down 5.9%, and that was after, I think it was yesterday, we had a decent buy coming with, I think it was 200 grand, and they bought up a ton of ink token, but that's all been sold back down now. Hex at the moment is at 0.27 of a penny, down 5.3%. EHEX though is even more dramatic, guys. EHEX, what this thing, 0.0088 at the moment, 0.0088. So what's that? 88 thousandths of a penny is the old EHEX. Combined price EHEX and PX is at 3600th of a penny. So what a bargain right now. What a bargain. Now there's always a bottom, right? There's always a bottom, and picking off the bottom means you get a lot of volume. Also, you DCA, you pull down your average cost. And so this is looking pretty tasty right now with the Band-Aid ripped off. And of course, we know the Prevex sacrifices really hasn't been adding much to it in recent times. And so we are not expecting much to happen there. And that's why I haven't really been talking about too much. That ends on the 10th of January, right? And so we're expecting some fireworks before that, somewhere between the 5th and 10th of January. We will see maybe some fireworks with the OA going in there and scooping up most of the volume. Be very surprised if that doesn't happen. Control, central bank control by the OA. All right, so that's kind of the play there. 5.3% right now with the old HEX. All right, so let's jump over to the gas prices. We're at 210,000 beats, pretty normal for what we've seen a lot lately, 1/10 of a penny, and so it's pretty cheap to do business on the old PulseChain. Validators, we're at 52,644, pretty similar to the last 2 days. Not much change there. Bridge activity, we're at 77.9, so we've come down quite a bit there. We're at 79.3, I think it was. So it looks like we're down about 1.4 million. I think since yesterday. Driving that, of course, is EHEX. EHEX is down quite a bit, right? Even though we've got a little bit more volume in EHEX, we've actually down, because we're at 00088, right? So we're down at 9.25 million. So EHEX is dragging down this number quite a bit. Let's look at my snapshot because I took one. Let's see what day it was. I think it was the 16th, was it? What day was it? The 16th of November, yeah. So how long is that? That's 8 days. So let's just call this just over a week difference. So we're at 85.9 million about 8 days ago, and we're at 77.9 at the moment. So we're down quite a bit there, aren't we? down about $8 million, $8 million over the last eight days. So not great. So obviously there've been some critiques of that, with the amount of LP that we've got on the PulseChain and things like that. People are getting a little bit nervous there, but I still think we're okay. But we have been much, much lower than this before, obviously under more duress times. But I think we're still holding up pretty well there, and we still have, based on CryptoSolve's analysis, still have quite a bit of stable coins sitting idle on the chain in terms of tens of millions. So, feeling okay about that. At the moment, we had 6,300 ETH about 8 days ago. We got 6,100, so we've got about a 210 ETH lower over that period of time. What's that? That's about $600,000, isn't it? DAI at the moment, 18.7 million was 8 days ago. We're now at just below 17, so we're down just over 1.7 million on the DAI. So you add that up, that's adding up there. It was at 2.3 million from ETH and DAI. USDC was 15.4. We're up 16.1 almost. So we're up. Let's say that's just over 600,000. So that basically wipes off the ETH reduction, and so we're down still about 1.7 million with the DAI. EHEX, of course, is down from 13 million down to 9.925, guys. EHEX is down from 13 million down to 9.25, so we're down 3.7 million. I'm smiling only because what else can you do, right? What else can you do? They got the Coast there at 11 million, and Coast is still around the same. No real changes there. Remember, for a while we had seen funny increases of 200,000 in the old Coast, and that sort of was stepping up every time. It was funny how it was always the same amount, which kind of indicated it was the same player, right? Now we got USD Tether was 5.3. We're now at 4.8, so we're down 500,000 there. If we take all that into account, we're down about 2.2 million, aren't we? Based on the stables and ETH over that 8-day period. Now, obviously, Coast is with the EHEX is down more dramatically, 3.7. Bitcoin was 24 Bitcoin. We're down. We've actually lost volume in Bitcoin over the last 8 days. Actually, let me just think about what the snapshot. Am I looking at the wrong? Sorry, my bad. I must apologize. I pulled up the wrong snapshot. This is the 16th of November. So it's not 8 days. It's over a lot period of time. I'm glad I picked that up. So it's actually less than, what's that, through 2 weeks, 5 weeks, guys. So good thing I checked that. So 5 weeks. There's a difference in 5 weeks, not 8 days. But anyway, we're down from 24 Bitcoin down to 20 Bitcoin. So we're going from 2.3 million down to 1.8 million on value as well. So it's got the volume and the price effect. So it's down to about 600,000. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now on that. I did have another snapshot. Where's my snapshot gone? I got the recent snapshot. I did one on the 19th of December, so that's only 5 days ago, and we were sitting at 77.3. So we're actually up on 5 days ago. So there we go. That good thing I checked. That is the good news. So we're up there at the moment, up about 600,000. So it's not all lost, is it? Not all lost there. Just having a look there. ETH is up actually on 5 days ago. DAI 17.6. So DAI is down slightly. about $200,000. USDC was 16. We're at 16. We're up slightly, actually 77. So we actually had a bit of recovery over the last 5 days. EHEX, however, is down about 150,000. So that's pretty much it. And USD Tether, USD Tether's down about 100K. There we go. I'm going to get rid of my old snapshot. Should I get rid of it? No, I'm going to move it so I don't pick that one up again. I'll put the new one at the bottom. All right, so that's kind of where we are with the stablecoins. Let's jump over to the volume right now. So we've got 5.3 million volume. We've pretty much been doing about $4.5 to $6.5 million in volume, whether it's the weekday or the weekend. Obviously, at the top end for the weekday, but today we got 5.3 million, 509,000 transactions. Now, obviously, the volume impacts the EIP for 1559, like the pulse burning on the chain. It also impacts the PulseX buy and burn, right? So with the lower burns there. Well, obviously PulseX a lot lower, cheaper in price. We got Christmas token at the moment, just launched 13 hours ago, up 8,400%. We got DTGC, Dump Tires Gold Coin, that's been around for 2 hours. We've got a couple of new coins today. Not endorsing any of them, of course. Up 780%. We got Dominance at the moment from OG WebChef, up 15%. So that was doing not too bad yesterday. We saw quite a few OG WebChefs doing a little bit of a bounce. I mean, off very low bottoms, but that's not too bad. Up 15%. Shadow, been around for 2 months, up 15%. I can't remember who launched those. So the Shadow was part of a couple of launches. I just can't remember the guy's name. I don't think it was Dumper Mentals or whatever his name is. Yeah, I can't remember exactly his name. But we got the ARC at 14% as well. I think were those two together when they launched? Maybe they were. Piggy Bank is up 6.5% for Oink. So a nice little move there. Let's see how that's going actually, because they had quite a bit of a pump that they managed to put in there. I mean, it's still not. I mean, it's a lot of volatility in there, but still holding up reasonably well. This is the weekly charts, by the way, weekly candles. So it's been up for about 4 or 5 weeks around this range. And it's at the top end. So 00036, $250,000 market cap. What else we got? CDI, which we've seen a lot up, is up 5.5%. So a quick look at CDI. And yeah, that's still, I mean, obviously big volatility today, but it's still on that uptrend and big volume coming today. Look at that. Whoa, 28K. Oh, sorry, my bad. I keep picking this one up accidentally. Sorry about that. This is my second mistake today. Well, you know, it's going to happen sometimes, isn't it? All right, so we got CDI there sitting up there. I just realized it's only got a $20 market cap. I keep picking this up because it keeps showing up there accidentally. Whale Bay, number 8, is up 4%. We got World's Greatest Pedo Printer from OG WebChef, up 2.25%. PMX 500 up a third of a percent. And then Mafia there still holding its gain from yesterday from looks of it. At 00066. Let's check that out for the old Mafia. Yeah, that's still holding its game, which is pretty good. And of course, they must be getting very close to the old fighting side of things. We've seen all the updates and the roadmaps almost looks like it's done. So is that going to have a Christmas launch? I don't know. A New Year's launch? Maybe New Year's. I am not in the Telegram group, so I don't know. But the website certainly indicates that they're getting pretty close for the old Mafia launch. And that means that you can kill other players, basically. And also it means that if you're holding the vault, you get payout of the vaults, right? So that could be pretty exciting. We'll see. I don't know if they're still doing 10% a week because that seems pretty high. So I don't know what Jacob's going to do there, but we'll see. All right, so that is the Mafia. Everything else, so that's only 11 coins. So in the green, everything else is in the red. So not much to talk about except for DCA for the win. DSCA for the win. Now we've got some of the big heavyweights. Saul Sun Minimum is down 14%, and at 5.7%, 7 cents. I'm not quite sure when that exactly is migrating to Solana. Probably in the new year is my guess. They want to do it before the end of the year, but I didn't get to watch the rest of the video. So Bria at the moment is up down 16% as well at 00027. Now we're expecting that to benefit a lot from Coinwhale. But Coinwhale looks like a new year listing, so that's probably got a little while to go. So that would mean a bit of weakness for Bria potentially. Unless someone wants to accumulate over that time. We've got Dow Token down 12% at the moment. Firewall down 8%. 9mm. 9mm is out. We've only got really 2 big dexes, and 9mm is the independent one outside of Richard Hart, and that is at 8,200 penny, and they've been delivering, pretty solidly. So I'm expecting this to do pretty well once PulseChain does turn around. that's pretty much it down the bottom here. Just having a look. We've got Peacock at the moment sitting at 1 cent, just down 7% there, even though they've got Liberty Swap version 2 coming out, which is a big deal for PulseChain. We've got Time Dividend down 7%, Pump Tires down 7%. So, got a lot of these bigger projects down. So, right, that's it. We've also got Vouch down 5% as well, the number one validator from Jexa. All right, so that's kind of the play. Let's check out some of the drama. No, we don't do drama, but we've definitely got some challenge here at the moment. Rack and Rochelle says Coin Mafia, our coin versus PDI. So he's put a challenge out to some of the big communities. So Coin Mafia, and it's got $ our coin. So I don't know if it's going to be called our coin, but maybe it is. Is that the first time we've seen the ticker for Coin Mafia? I just thought it would be called Coin Mafia, but it's got our coin there. Versus PDI, Peacock, PDC, and UFOs. It's targeting the big communities, guys. And it says no capital raise. Is he going to outdo those coins? Well, it depends on how many coins he issues, right? How many coins he buys, all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see whether it's a fair game, but excited. We're excited by Coin Mafia coming. We will combine all market caps starting at my company's launch. I am calling out all of you at once. My company's market cap versus all of yours combined. Let's do this. Shut up and perform, because I sure as hell am fixing too. So there we go. So if I look at this list, then really it's probably Liberty Swap delivers their roadmap. Then Peacock is going to be the front runner there. And of course, that will be interesting. So we're expecting some big things from Rack and Michelle, obviously with his project launches, and presumably we're going to be looking to see, his connections in the United States with capital markets, and there is a range of investments through VCs, wealthy individuals, institutions, corporates, government, Trump family associations, Saudi associations, all that sort of stuff. Him bringing that to bear, all that capital, as well as multi-chain influencers, and retail in there as well. So we're going to see how it all plays out. I'm excited about it. We're going to see the game plan there, and it's going to be fun. And he's definitely bringing some really fresh products. I've been pretty happy with what he's been presenting. Very excited for it, actually. So we're looking forward to it. So we will combine all market caps, starting a bit of a challenge out there too. So I kind of like that. And as you guys know, he's going to be launching Coinarchy, and apparently that was going to have Battle of the Memes, and it's going to, whoever wins the meme becomes king of the hill, let's say, gets to some of the fees from the platforms end up burning their token off. So I think that's kind of exciting, and also should ramp up marketing amongst community as well. Now I went through Telegram. I won't go too much on it, but went through Telegram the other day, and there's a lot of small, meme coins and RH memes and things like that. And I'm sure they might get at least some of them will get rejuvenated by such a competition on Coinarchy. So yeah, kind of exciting. So we've got Coin Mafia first. One looks at that, and then we'll probably have maybe Coinwell and Coinarchy. Coinarchy might launch first, actually, and then Coinwell. We'll see the order. Now, he obviously wants a pickup in the market, and he should probably hold off for that, particularly for Coinwell. Maybe not as much for Coin Mafia or Coinarchy, but Coinwell, you want to get that market sort of starting to move up, the sentiment changing, and you want to have a lot of richer pundits. So that's kind of where we might end up there. So anyway, a nice little challenge there from the old Rack and Michelle. All right, so that brings us into Liberty Swap. Now, I haven't actually pulled Liberty Swap up here, but we have been going through a lot of Liberty Swap stuff lately. I'm not sure what they've got up here today, but we'll go back a little bit to them waking up in the morning. So yeah, 2 days to Christmas is what they've got there. Matthew says a Peacock Christmas pump. Maybe Matthew. We'll see. We'll see what the market does with the upgrade of version 2. I think there's going to be a lot of hooks in there. Now, we are expecting maybe some stablecoin expansion, possibly a Petius tie-in. That's a big deal, right? The market should price that in. But we do have a lot of immature people on the PulseChain in terms of valuing things, because we have all the pump and dumpers and all that stuff in there. But this is definitely heading in the right direction of investable cryptos on PulseChain. And as you guys know, I've talked a lot about, can we get a good half a dozen blue chip projects on PulseChain where we've got a lot of support to the upside, because people are just not selling and buying them up, and because they're offering good market propositions, right? They got good market propositions. So definitely Peacock is a front runner in that group as well. All right, feed the bird. Some Christmas cheer, says Valiant. Yeah, looking very positive. I mean, it's a big deal what these guys are building out, a massive ecosystem. And all they have to be is consistent. All they have to be is delivering. All they have to be is innovating. And they seem to be doing all that so far. So it's looking pretty good. So good morning, PulseChain friends from Liberty Swap. Let's scroll through some of this. What do they got here? Hi there. We are addressing cross-chain secret transfer using ZK proof for intent-based protocol. And so they are pushing the frontier of a lot of the privacy technologies at the moment, mixing it in with the bridge and swapping. So it's really, really bullish. We also enable private balance transfers between privacy protocols without reading user data, preserving anonymity, and strengthening Ethereum's overall anonymity set. That's kind of the play. What else we got there? 2 hours ago, with the Ethereum and PulseChain era is here. Most people are just not aware of it yet. ETH, the BTC, are likely bottoms, so that's kind of indicating that they're doing things at the right time. They're excited about it. Innovation on EVM networks is accelerating faster than ever. And of course, they're leading the pack with that. Price will follow, and of course, Peacock, ETH, Pulse there. So she's working hard. The old Liberty, Liberty there. And yeah, it's looking good. So I think that was just about it. I don't know. Somebody put out this post. Everyone has given up on PulseChain, but they haven't yet seen the cool tech yet. Those of us who are still here know the real potential will be unleashed later. The business cycle can't be suppressed forever. You got Lady Liberty there. KO! How that goes. KO! Yeah, looking good. All right, so that's kind of cool. Nice picture there. What else? We got this one here from 40 minutes ago. We are upgrading the back end during the holidays. Liquidity and volume are low. That means full focus on coding and planning. Keep your head up. Keep your fighting spirit high. Now, we were expecting a version 2 in the next day or two. That was one of the last comments they had, but they may end up taking a few more days. So we'll just have to be a bit more open-minded about that. But they continue to work here. So we'll keep a lookout for if they do that version 2 upgrade, which is going to lay a new foundation for being able to just hook in new DeFi into the bridge and swapping and the privacy and everything. So it's going to open up a whole ecosystem of high DeFi. And of course, it's DeFi. If you imagine bridge flows and swapping flows like a river, it's basically putting in just dropping all these DeFi buildings in the river, and you got that capital flowing back and forth. Unlike some of the others, which are built off on little streams on the sideline. So it's a pretty big deal. I think it's a good way of looking at it. So that is some of the cool stuff happening there from Liberty Swap. Now, we must have a quick look at the Proof sacrifice since we haven't looked at it for a couple of days and see where that's at, because it's probably almost at the day end. How we're doing for time here. Not too bad. Got a good crowd watching today. Let's see. Is this going to refresh? Refresh here. 1 minute. Loading sacrifice. So 31 minutes to go on the day, guys. We're already up to day 42. Can you believe it? It's been a few days since I stopped covering it. But today's rate on day 42 is $3.57 for 10,000 points plus the volume rank multiplied a bit depending on what your sacrifice is compared to everybody else's. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So day 40. So we're going to go from $3.57 for 10,000 points to $3.80 on day 43. And we're only not ticking away. We're not too far away. So ticking away here from the next day. Obviously, we'll be in phase 2. And that will be day 54. That'll be on the 4th of January. It'll be $7.40 by then. So it really ramps up really big time. So yeah, basically a 2x what we are right now by the time we move forward there. Day 54. So that's in 12 days. You basically 2x the rate there. It's pretty crazy. And then we into phase 3, which is where the volume rank bonus ends. And this is a flat rate of 0.75% on the base rate, and that will start off at $7.85 and end 5 days later at day 59. And the rate will be $10.01 for 10,000 points with no volume rank bonus. So pretty expensive stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of where we are. And that's this period here is when we're expecting the OA to come in and snap up a dominant amount of the coins. Now, what will it be? Somewhere between, let's say, 85 and 95% of the coins. I think we saw with Pulse and PulseX it was around 87% in that ballpark. It's got more now, but that's kind of where it was. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. That may give an implied price as well. Now the total sacrifice is at 16.37 million, so no real changes there. 320 billion points, so not really much change since we last covered it. What was 5 days, 6 days ago, whatever it was. We got 13,900 sacrifices. So we'll probably likely go over 14,000 as little sacrifices are made. And yeah, we'll get a couple of people at the end go, oh crap, it's closing, I better get in there, even though the rate's really bad. So that's kind of the play at the moment. Top sacrificer is the Prevex pool from Buckamentals. This is the retail pool for PulseChain, and we're currently, that's $5,339,000, 142 billion points, which is pretty good if you consider that there is where they go, 320. So they got 142 out of 320 of those points is in the retail book there. This was that PulseX whale, remember that? Sold down and dumped on us real hard, and he went in there, number 2. And so he put a lot of money in there. And then we got number 3 and all the rest of them. These all seem to be coordinated, and possibly could be Rack and Rochelle. Could be somebody like that, right? It's probably most likely. And then they call these wallets all the way down. So maybe even down to number 15 or so, or even further, actually, maybe number 17. These could all be the same people, right? So number 3 down to number 17. That being said, of course, there could be a few extras, independents mixed in there. So I won't count that out. All right, so let's go to the recents as well. So out of that, how much was, I keep scrolling down too far. Out of 16.37 million, 11.8 million, or almost 11.9 million was from Ethereum. Some of that will be from PulseChain, of course, routing back through the official bridge, etc., through LibertySwap. And then we got PulseChain itself, 3.7 million out of that 16.3 mil, almost 16.4 is from PulseChain. So that's all capital. That was ripping the Band-Aid off, guys. That was taking idle capital, selling down the markets. And so that's what that is there. Interesting enough, we saw BSC number 3, base number 4, Bitcoin number 5 there. Bitcoin, of course, had a big late move. Someone with decent Bitcoin came in there and pumped that up. It was sitting at about 20, 30K, and then it jumped to 120. And then we got Arbitrum in there, 91K, Monero 73, Ripple 61, Solana 56. So those are some of the big ones there. And that's pretty much it. 27 minutes to go on the day 42, about to start day 43, and the rate will be $3.80. So that's pretty much it, which brings us to the last thing I was going to talk about, and that is Strategy Club. If you haven't joined that Strategy Club, the link is at the top of the X account, so whoop.com Strategy Club room. Join up today, just over $1 a day, just about $35 a month, so really good value. And you get tons of intel in there, and because you can ask me questions, have chats, and talk to other smart people as well in the Strategy Club. It's a great place to be. So look forward to seeing you join up there. And if you're on YouTube, just look at the video description. You should find the link near the top of that too. We've got PulsePot in house. Hey, Superman, hope you're doing good. Happy Christmas to you, PulsePot. Great to have you in the chat today. Woohoo! PulsePot is here, guys. All right, so kind of cool. That is where we are right now. You just never know too. Maybe maybe the doorbell rings. Oh, what the heck? Chances of that, guys. What's the chances of that?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
All right, that was a message from our sponsor. We got we talk about Richard Hart. So Richard, what could he do? So there's talk in the town of a New Year's Eve pump. So back in 2020, there was a big God mode candle on I think it was New Year's Eve. I think was it midnight? I'm not sure what time exact it was. And so given that the sacrifice, the PulseX sacrifice essentially done, right? The Prevex sacrifice essentially done. In terms of participation outside the OA, and will we see a God mode candle on New Year's Eve or something like that, right? So will we see a video from Richard, a Christmas video for the new year? New Year video. When we see a Christmas video, we might even see one of those. But let's say we get a New Year's video that could be coming up, and that could get things going. PulseChain off the bottom there, Band-Aid ripped off. time for a bit of excitement for the new year. That's the golden age of America. Everything is ramping up. So yeah, let's see what happens there. That could always happen. Also, Richard's often talked about PulseChain for glory. And sometimes when you have certain structural issues, you've got to deal with those before you can get that pump moving. So we'll keep a lookout for that moving forward. Now, obviously, any rally in Ethereum is going to help. We know that Richard really liked the $10,000 mark for ETH. So that, excuse me. Is that the first time I sneezed on live stream? Maybe it's the second time. Anyway, sorry, I apologize for that. But yeah, maybe we have that going on. So it could be pretty fun. Yeah, it must be like mistletoe or something, mistletoe around. Yeah, so that could all happen. So we could see Richard do some wildcard stuff. Richard seeking for glory, and he's going to play it his way, right? He's going to play it his way. Now, yeah, so we'll see whether we get anything around New Year's. Will we get any God Mode candle? Will other players come out, like the Hex Gold Whale, come out and do stuff? Or will they going to have to wait till Ethereum really starts pumping back up and breaks that 5K mark and heads on the way up for the altcoin season? We'll see. We'll see what they do. All right, all makes sense. High value. Will we see any protocol launches as well coming from Richard Hart? With Liberty Swap opening up, Tornado Cash, Railgun, and all this high-end stuff, will we see Richard and the OA stuff, route through there and be invisible to the PulseChain, but with Petias tied in, suddenly buying and selling on the markets? That would be pretty crazy. First time sneeze. Woohoo! Yeah. So yeah, will we see that? Will we see that happen? So there's lots of things that could happen, setting us up. Now remember back when Hex was around. Obviously, Hex was just by itself. All you had to focus on. It did a 13 parabolics, right? So it was pretty glorious. Are we going to see some sort of stepping up of that? A lot of the weekends out. A lot of the sacrifices out. Now obviously there's a few players still selling down the chain on a regular basis for various reasons, and I don't want to go into all of that. But are we actually going to get net buying activity and parabolics moving into next year? Will a God Mode candle be enough to move us up and get a higher price floor as we go? So that's some questions there. We'll keep a lookout for that. Now, having some really quality projects on PulseChain really does matter. And so I'm very excited about some of the developments that we're seeing at the moment. Obviously, Liberty Swap is one of those. We got Vouch as one of those. Volt is one of those. And we've got some good devs building out some other protocols. Jacob, obviously, potentially building out. We've got Stu from Tetra and Signum. Those are expected to launch before. So Tetra is expected to launch between Christmas and New Year's. That will open up. That's brand new tech. And also Signum will follow probably early January. And that would open up, of course, PUSD ALGO as well, the first algorithmic stablecoin on PulseChain. So there's lots of flow on effects there, and those are all top tier projects, right? So very excited about that. Yeah, pretty cool. Now, True DeFi, of course, we just saw that launch. That did a spectacular the first day. I think that was at 33 billion, 32.7 billion Pulse went into that first day. I'm not sure what the second day result is. If anyone's watching and they know, let me know in the chat. But some exciting things happening in there, right? Some exciting things. So that was a really nice surprise. Now, that's kind of like an index token that has some magic sauce there, some secret sauce there with the old system and partner miners that they've got in there. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. And so the more blue chip stuff is, I guess, the more things they've got to invest in as well. So that's kind of cool. We are expecting more, obviously, developments through the farms. We've got about 7 farms at the moment. We should see some of those continue to innovate and maybe launch new farms as well. So keep a lookout for the whole farming area on PulseChain. I don't know if you call it passive income, but you call it DeFi income as well. I like to call it DeFi income, but certainly looking good there. And of course, we've got all the old utilities that are running, that are doing their job. All the liquidity forks, doing stable coins, yielding. We've got DEX is another area we can grow. Having another DEX out there, at least, that's probably another area. And we've got that out there. And what else? Obviously, we've got a lot of bridging stuff happening. We've got some good DEX aggregators already. We're going to have some more coin listing stuff. So, it's all looking pretty good. We're going to have oracles with Signum, DeFi, democratization with the Tetra. And there's many other projects that are going to be launching as well outside of those ones. So I think we're looking pretty good going in from the end of December into January with some heavyweights, and hopefully by mid-January or so we'll have a good half a dozen of hot blue chips to be investable in. They're already there, so many of them, like Vouch, but looking forward to Vault, that multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork. So we've got some exciting stuff over the next few weeks. So that should keep us entertained, and also I think make PulseChain more valuable as well. Now we're going to see, on the background, the Magic Carp ride, Richard making moves. We'll keep a lookout for that too. All right, let's see what else we got here. Got some comments to finish the show. We're up to now 10 minutes, so probably a good place to finish soon. We got Brenton in the house there. Howdy, Superman and family. Good to see you, Brennan. We got Al Will says, I wonder how he can pump without everyone selling until new blood comes in. Yeah, well, there is that, and that's why I said I think the blue chip stuff's really important, that we build out these other protocols, so we get a lot of stuff coming, and marketing, right? So we're going to market, and promote. So got to encourage the community to do that. That takes the whole community to do that. I mean, it's really not everyone needs to sort of head that direction. I know there must be a way, but how? Yeah. Well, the other thing is, of course, because the ETH is down at 3K, we really need ETH to be 5K plus, right? So I think there's an issue there as well as. But in the meantime, people can keep promoting because it's a great entry price, right, for people. So that's the sell point, right? Great entry price for people to get in on the old PulseChain at the moment. Sean O'Malley says, I believe in Santa Claus and I believe in Richard Hart, says Sean. That's fun. That's fun. All right, I've got to play this for you then. Here's for another year of Alpha Mate, says Brennan. I appreciate that. Big shout out. Yeah, Brennan's in the house there, Wookie. Wook. Are you all good? I think he's pretty good. All right. Well, he's got some news. So, guys, jump into the Discord after the live stream. We'll have a chat. I'll have a catch up, and maybe a coffee and some Kit Kats. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It is Christmas Eve in New Zealand, and of course, I'm one of the last Kiwis you're ever probably going to see on live stream because we are being wiped out. But on that note, Merry Christmas, everybody. And of course, I will be doing probably a Christmas show tomorrow and Christmas Day show after that. So, because I'm ahead of time, 19 hours ahead of time. So it is what it is. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow for the special show. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Kiwi Christmas Eve show today. So, spend time with your family and friends, eat lots, drink lots, have a great time. And it is for us who are Christians, it is celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. So it is going to be pretty awesome. The Savior of the world. Amen to that. The world needs a savior more than ever. It is these days. We got Valiant's in the house there. Many thanks for all the info, Superman, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Valiant. All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you on the next show. Bye for now, and God bless. Enjoy your Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow for another Christmas day. We're going to probably have 3 Christmas shows. That's just the way it's going to be. All right, take care. Bye for now.